What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be doing my live watch-along of Manchester City's huge Premier League game against Aston Villa, away from home at Villa Park. Manchester City, last three Premier League games, drawn, and drawn. We need to get back to winning ways. There's starting to be a little gap appearing at the top of the Premier League. City want to try and cut that short, get all the pressure applied back on to the likes of Liverpool and to Arsenal, and try and get our season back on track as well. That is what is at stake here, as we faced three very difficult games in the build-up to this. Chelsea away from home, 4-4. Liverpool at home, 1-1. Tottenham Hotspur at home, 3-3, and now here away from home against Aston Villa, who are currently sitting in 4th place in the Premier League. This won't be an easy evening for Manchester City, you mark my words on that, and this has been probably the most difficult game that I've had so far this season when it's come to trying to predict what I think may happen in this game, because I don't know. Aston Villa haven't been tried and tested at Villa Park yet against a really good, excellent team like Manchester City. Equally, Manchester City, we haven't really been on the road and be tested against a team that are as formidable as what Aston Villa are right now in terms of their home form. So it's going to be an interesting battle. It will be interesting to see, as the commentators were just saying there on Amazon Prime Video, which is where you can find today's game being streamed live here in the UK. This is Aston Villa's chance in this game against Manchester City and their game on Saturday night at Villa Park against Arsenal. This is a chance for Aston Villa to showcase, are they serious about finishing in the top four? Are they serious about pushing for a potential title bid? Well, they beat Man City and they beat Arsenal. I think their name needs to be spoken about. Lose both them games, all of a sudden the expectations drop, and all of a sudden it becomes a big battle, not only for a European spot, but it becomes ever more difficult to try and make the Champions League and the top four come at the end of the season. So huge permutations here for both teams, lots to play for here for both sides as well. Looking forward to it. Should be a really good game of football. So before I do digest and talk about everything that there is to talk about, including the all-important team news which is out, do make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then you do subscribe to my channel, press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave it a thumbs up. 100 likes is the aim. Already making a good stride towards that. Now just 87 likes away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be great. Also, don't forget as well, we've got the live chat rolling. Do let me know your thoughts in the live chat, including where you're tuning in from around the world and also what your score predictions are for this game. Just having a look at the live chat. Teddy, much appreciated, going for a 2-0 victory today for Manchester City. Love the positivity there, Teddy. Thanks very much for tuning in once more. Stop Online Hate says 4-0 in my opinion. Haaland to grab them all. Some outrageous takes there. Haaland grabbing 4 goals, City scoring 4. Is the most unrealistic part of that Manchester City keeping a clean sheet? Who knows? But Stop Online Hate, thanks very much for tuning in. Much appreciated. Manchester City fan says, I have a feeling that we're going to lose today, but he hopes that Manchester City prove him wrong. I'm hoping you're going to be wrong. It's very unpredictable. I don't know what to expect. Makes it very exciting, but we're at a point in our season where I don't want exciting. I want wins. I want 3 points. Boy Racer, thanks very much for tuning in. Says he reckons it's going to be tight, but reckons we're going to pull through and see the job out. Going for a 2-1 victory there for Manchester City. Hrvatska Croatia, thanks very much for tuning in. Much appreciated. Going for a 4-2 victory, I presume, there to Manchester City. So loving the optimism here in the live chat so far, guys. Mixid helping to moderate today's chat, so do keep it clean. No spoiling it for others. They're the only rules we've got here on the JSGC live watch-alongs. Thanks very much, Mixid, for tuning in. Going for a little bit more conservative, going for a 2-2 draw, bearing in mind Aston Villa's good form and good start to the season and how difficult they are to beat at Villa Park, which, as I was saying in my preview, 6 Premier League games, 6 wins, 3 Europa Conference League games, 3 wins. Everton, the only side to beat Aston Villa at Villa Park so far this season. That came in the Carabao Cup round 3 game. Now, Frederick, thanks for tuning in, says Manchester City, they're going to beat Aston Villa 3-1. Love that one, Frederick, and love the optimism there. Daniel, hello, thanks for tuning in, says Manchester City have to win tonight because Arsenal, they got lucky yesterday. We'll speak more about Arsenal in just one moment. Julia, hello, what a legend, tuning in as well, much appreciated. A Manchester City fan says, big City fan, tuning in from Bangladesh, all the way in Bangladesh. It must be very late or very early, whichever way you want to look at it, in Bangladesh, but much appreciated. Thank you very much for tuning in. Right, Arsenal's a good starting point. Watching that game against Luton yesterday, having a good scout of it because Luton are going to be Manchester City's next opponents at Kenilworth Road, taking on Arsenal, of course, sitting first in the Premier League. Gives us a good idea what to expect from Luton Town for next Sunday's game against ourselves. And to me, what I took away from it, Luton's spirit. They're very difficult to break down. They're very difficult to beat. You do have to be clinical in front of goal. And boy, are they motivated to try and get a good scout. Already got a point at Kenilworth Road against Liverpool. Should have had at least a point yesterday against Arsenal. I think it was 25 seconds overtime in added time for Arsenal to find that winner through Declan Rice yesterday. There was a little bit of time wasting going on in added time as well. So Arsenal, they strike lucky. It's what they do. They run on emotions. They rely on things like that. How many times do we see Arsenal getting a good chunk of minutes added on at the end and then finding them last minute winners, which some will argue it's what champions do. Yes, I'm not going to argue against that. It's exactly what champions do. Them results yesterday could be massive. It could be absolutely crucial come the end of May. Arsenal, though, they're more experienced. They've got a year's worth of title challenge under their belt. The players know what to expect. They're going to be even more difficult, in my opinion, to stop this season than what we did last season. We were happy for Arsenal to lead the way, though, because by the end, they ran out of steam. They didn't have what it took to win the Premier League. And I think if Man City want to win it this season, we need to deliver something similar. What we can't afford to do is hand them a nice, easy 9, 10, 11 point gap, because that becomes very difficult for Manchester City to break down. And then victories yesterday just start chipping away at that. City drop points here today and Arsenal go on to beat Aston Villa at the weekend. We're under tremendous pressure against Luton Town. And if we drop points like Liverpool did at Kenilworth Road earlier in the season, all of a sudden Manchester City find themselves in a very difficult situation. So we need to avoid that. Win this game, win against Luton Town. In my opinion, it puts us where we want to be after 16 games or so in the Premier League. We know we need to go to Spurs Stadium and get something. We know we need to go to Anfield and get something. But then games in between, they're massive games. And this game here today, to me, no, a draw's no good. It's win or bust as far as I'm concerned. So I'd like to see City go for the jugular, really push for it and try and get that victory. I know City's approach has been very much attack rather than thinking about defence. I think Pep Guardiola stopped that, going off how many defenders are starting today. Just go ahead to the chat 1 second, just before I do get on with speaking about the team news. Man City, hello, thanks for tuning in. Going for a 4-1 victory for City, tuning in all the way from Namibia. Much appreciated. Thank you very much for tuning in. What's my name? JSGC is my name. Daniel, thanks for tuning in, saying Arsenal, they need to be humbled this season. Well, they got a lucky victory against Manchester City. There's been game after game after game where they've got away with one, Arsenal. And very soon, luck does run out. You do make your own luck in football, of course. Luck does run out. You can't rely on luck to win games all the time. It will run out. And they've got some big games coming up. Aston Villa away. They've got Brighton coming up. They've got Liverpool away from home at Anfield. These are very difficult games for Arsenal. But if they come away with 9 points from that, all of a sudden, then to me anyway, they come away with 9 points from that. Arsenal have to be favourites for the Premier League. They have to be. They've beaten Manchester City so far this season. They're going away to difficult places where they normally drop points and they're not dropping points. We're near enough halfway through the season. It gives you a good indication of where teams are at. As I said, they've already got that year's worth of experience of a title challenge under their belt. Arsenal, to me, they'll want to go out there and make the statement. But I don't know about you guys, but when I was watching Arsenal back in February, March time, they were playing better football. They looked more confident and they looked just, in general, a better team than what they look now. They look a bit haggard. They look a bit tired. They look a bit desperate at times. It's working, but is it going to suffice? And that's the great thing about the Premier League. 38 games, it's a marathon, it's not a knockout competition. Luck doesn't last all season. When you sit at the top of the Premier League after 38 games, you deserve to be there because you are the best team in the Premier League. There's no hiding, there's no disguising, there's no getting away with that. You have to accept that fact. So that's where we're at. Thank you very much to Quisto. Thanks very much for tuning in. Says we need to get them 3 points. Nothing less. Completely agree. 3 points is exactly what is needed. Rightio, we are going to, Julia as well says, the team that scored 3 against Arsenal sit near bottom of the table. Absolutely spot on. They are beatable. It can be done, of course. You need to cover all bases, really. It's a bit like when you play against Manchester City. You want to take points off City. You need to play an excellent game. Tottenham executed their plan to perfection. It was a perfect approach and perfect game from Spurs, and they came away with a point. And they were behind a couple of times as well. It could easily have gone another way. Could easily have ended up conceding 4 or 5 goals. That's what it takes. You need a little bit of luck, but you need to stick with the game plan, and that's what teams need to do against Arsenal as well. And I think City were guilty of that at the Emirates Stadium. Too much respect, not playing the normal game, too busy playing for that 0-0, that good point at the Emirates. Should have been pushing, should have been going for the win. It's what we do every season, and it's what we've managed to do a lot of times under Pep Guardiola. I don't really get why we changed that approach, but there we go. Anyway, right, you have got some games already taking place at this moment in time, all half an hour in or more. Brighton taking on Brentford. Currently Brighton 0, Brentford 1. Crystal Palace taking on Bournemouth. It's Palace 0, Bournemouth 1. You got Fulham taking on Nottingham Forest, which is currently 1-0 at Craven Cottage in West London to Fulham. And Sheffield United taking on Liverpool does have a little bit of an impact here on Manchester City. We'll keep our eye on that one. Currently in the Steel City, Sheffield United 0, Liverpool 0. Now you do have Manchester United taking on Chelsea at Old Trafford, kicking off at 8:15 PM GMT here in the UK. Kicking off at the same time here as Manchester City's game against Aston Villa. So we're going to go through the teams for this match. We're going to start with our opponent, Aston Villa. Sky Sports have got them down as playing a 4-4-2. I imagine this is more going to be a 4-4-1-1, potentially a 4-3-3. So they're starting with Emi Martinez, the world's best goalkeeper apparently, in goal. Back four made up of Konsa, Carlos, Torres and Digne. In midfield is made up of Youri Tielemans and former Manchester City man Douglas Luiz. You've got Leon Bailey on the right side, Scottish international John McGinn on the left side, and up top it's looking like it's going to be Boubacar Kamara, who's going to be partnering Ollie Watkins. I reckon that could be more of a 4-3-3 where Boubacar Kamara drops more into midfield to support Tielemans and Douglas Luiz. They may be given a little bit more freedom to push forward as long as 2 of them drop back. McGinn will go on the left, Bailey will go on the right. So plenty of pace there being offered from Leon Bailey. So it's going to be a busy afternoon for Josko Gvardiol on that left-hand side, as I'm expecting to see Bailey on that right wing. And then it's going to be the inform Ollie Watkins, 8 Premier League goals so far this season, starting up top, and the Premier League's 5th top goal scorer so far this season. John McGinn captaining Aston Villa today, who are led by manager Unai Emery. On the bench for Aston Villa, you've got Marshall, the backup goalkeeper. You've also got Lengler, Matty Cash, Moreno, Ramsey, Zaniola, Dendonka, Diaby and Duran as well. Decent team. Could cause Manchester City a lot of problems. We need to play a good game. Now moving on to Manchester City's starting 11 for this match. We're lining up in goal number 31, Ederson. It's going to be a back 3 made up of Kyle Walker on the right hand side, Ruben Dias going through the middle and Josko Gvardiol going on that left side of centre back. I suspect it's going to be Akanji going into that Rodri role today, as he is suspended after picking up 5 yellow cards alongside him, and great to see the return of Super Johnny Stones. Fantastic news. Further ahead of them, you're going to have Rico Lewis, and further ahead of them playing almost as a second striker, Julian Alvarez with Erling Haaland sitting up top with Bernardo Silva on the right wing and Phil Foden on the left wing. Of course, Jack Grealish, former Aston Villa man, he's also suspended after picking up 5 yellow cards in the Premier League. On the bench for Manchester City, 2 goalkeepers named with Scott Carson and Stefan Ortega-Moreno. Defensive reinforcements in Nathan Ake and Sergio Gomez. Nathan Ake very unlucky to be missing out on a starting place in this side, in my opinion. You've got 3 options in midfield. Kalvin Phillips, there was talk he could start, he doesn't. You've also got Mateo Kovacic, who I presume isn't 100%, and that's why he's not starting and Julian Alvarez is. I did speak in my preview, I'd like more protection for midfield. Kovacic to come in and Alvarez to come out. It hasn't happened, so I have to question just how fit is Mateo Kovacic. And also on the bench, and great to see the return of Matheus Nunes as well. And in terms of attacking options for Manchester City, on the bench you've got youngster Oscar Bobb. Manchester City, of course, led by manager Pep Guardiola. It is 3rd place taking on 4th place. Manchester City in 3rd place on 30 points. Aston Villa in 4th place on 29 points. Just a point separates these 2 teams. Any Manchester City victory or City avoiding defeat today will see us remain above Aston Villa. Manchester City win today, we could potentially leapfrog Liverpool, and we will go 3 points behind Arsenal with a better goal difference as well. And it's still in Manchester City's hands. We do still have to play Arsenal in the return match at the Etihad, so that's what Manchester City need to stick to. Man City win every game between now and the end of the season. It's not going to happen, but mathematically, Man City win the Premier League, and there's nothing anybody can do about that. Arsenal will be saying the same. Liverpool will be saying the same. And that's because there's just so much football still left to be played so far this season. Aston Villa, though, they'll be rubbing their hands. They win this game. After 15 Premier League games, they leapfrog Manchester City, which is an outstanding achievement. And that gives City plenty to think about when it comes to that match against Luton Town away from home in the Premier League on Sunday. But all focus has to be on here. Strong 11 named, pretty defensive as well. I'm confident that Manchester City can get this job done. I'm going to go nice and positive. I've enjoyed the chat being nice and positive, so I'm going to go for a Manchester City victory by 2-1. Goals today for Erling Haaland, and I'm also going for a goal for Phil Foden. Shame Rodri's not playing. He loves the goal against Aston Villa. Ollie Watkins, I'm going for a goal back in the second half for Aston Villa. Man City see out the job and win this game by 2-1. What we can't afford to be doing is getting involved in a goal fest, conceding 3-4 goals and putting ourselves in a difficult position. If we're in a position to go ahead, go and do it. If we're in the positions to be putting ourselves 2-3 goals ahead and getting them killer 2-goal cushions and putting games to bed, we also need to go out there and do it. That has been so costly. We can speak about referees, we can speak about defence, but Man City's best form of defence is attack. We put the opportunities away against Spurs first half. We win the game. We probably don't go on to concede another goal. We put our opportunities away against Liverpool. We pick up the 3 points. Trent Alexander-Arnold probably doesn't go on to score that 80th minute equaliser. We put their opportunities away against Chelsea. They don't go on to get a penalty in the 94th minute and equalise through former City man Cole Palmer. These frustrating situations don't happen for Manchester City if we put our chances away. We haven't been clinical enough. We've found 11 goals in 4 games in all comps. Great. But we're not winning the games. We need to be doing more. Putting them opportunities away. We can score more goals. More goals kills these games off. The more goals City score, the more likely we are to keep the opposition out and keep them clean sheets as well. It's the same system we had in place last season. It worked wonders in the second half of the season. It helped us win the treble. It's a successful formula. It can work again. We just need to apply ourselves. And most importantly, when the chances are there, put the ball in the damn net. Julia informs me Liverpool leading against Sheffield United. I'll check that one out. Theodore, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Daniel, I'm hoping the referee isn't going to be rubbish as well today. And hopefully no accusations of corruption and things out there, because it was dodgy, weren't it? It almost stunk of match fixing or something that was going on. It was just... And the referee's not even been made to explain himself, and he's been put on more Premier League fixtures as well. coming up over midweek and the weekend as well. It's just beggars belief. Dad, thanks for tuning in, going for a 3-1 victory for City. Love the optimism there. Much appreciated. So guys, we're on to 23 likes, just 77 likes away from 100 likes. So do leave a thumbs up. Do subscribe if you're new around here. Social media links in the description if you want to go and check out my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries, do let me know where you're tuning in from around the world, and do leave your score predictions in the live chat as well. I absolutely love that from Aston Villa. They're very proud that they've won the European Cup, got it on display for everybody to see in the tunnel as the players make their way out. Love that. Nice little touch. Aston Villa are former European champions. Manchester City are also current European champions as well. So nice to give ourselves a little bit of European pedigree. Aston Villa making the most of it, and I'm sure Manchester City in the future will make the most of what they've achieved over the last 6-7 months as well. So it does mean the players are in the tunnel. Manchester City look like they're going to be in their, is it their away kit? I don't think it's the third kit. I think is it the away kit, third kit? I can't remember. Who knows? It's a burgundy kit with the maroon shorts. Anyway, Aston Villa making the way out. Manchester City also making their way out here as well. Kyle Walker, captain, leads us out. Just have a check out of that Liverpool game then. Yeah, they have gone 1-0 up. It's a goal on 37 minutes. It's Virgil van Dijk, so there we go. The Geezer Dan, thanks for tuning in, says fancies another draw for City tonight, going for a 2-2 draw. Maybe City can get back to winning ways against Luton at the weekend. Under normal circumstance, with the current form and where Aston Villa are at and what they're doing, away from home, I'd be very satisfied. I'd be happy with a draw. But these games where we've dropped points when we should have been, these home games, Liverpool, Tottenham, these are games I'd expect Manchester City to win, and we haven't done that. And because we haven't done that, we're now under pressure, and I feel like we need to win this game. Under normal circumstance, away from home against 4th place, I'll be happy with the point. We're under pressure. We need to do something. Equally, I think Aston Villa are under pressure. They've not faced anybody of high quality at Villa Park so far. Has everybody been overrating them? They don't know. You're only going to find that out today in this game. Man City come out here and end up scoring 3 or 4 goals and keeping a clean sheet. Gives Aston Villa a bit of a reality check. I mean, if City come out and win this game 3-4-0, and I wouldn't rule that out. I don't think it's going to happen, but I wouldn't rule it out. But if it did, do I think they're going to take anything off Arsenal at the weekend? Probably not. So, we'll see. We will see. We'll see how good City are. We'll see how good Aston Villa are as well. And we'll go from there. Andy and Alison, thanks for tuning in from York. Thank you very much for tuning in once more, guys. Much appreciated. Interesting game, this one. Really interesting game. Yeah, so Amazon Prime have got Boubacar Kamara dropping more into defensive midfield rather than attacking midfield. And it's going to be more of a 4-3-3 formation being offered by Aston Villa today rather than the 4-4-1-1 that was being suggested by Sky Sports. So Aston Villa lining up with Martinez in goal. They're going with Konsa, Carlos, I've tried this on memory, Torres and Digne as their back four and goalkeeper respectively. You've got Kamara, Douglas Luiz and Youri Tielemans as their central midfield. On the right wing, you're going to have Leon Bailey, Jamaican international. You're going to have John McGinn, Scottish international on the left wing. And up top, Ollie Watkins. Manchester City lining up today with Ederson in goal. It's a back three made up of Kyle Walker, Ruben Dias and Josko Gvardiol. Big game needed here for Josko. In midfield with no Rodri, it's going to be Akanji and John Stones, a return of John Stones, which is fantastic to see. Also ahead of him, you've got Rico Lewis being given the nod ahead of Matheus Nunes, who returns back to the squad from injury on the bench. Also ahead of Mateo Kovacic, who returns back from injury only recently as well, and obviously not 100% fit, so he starts in this game. Julian Alvarez is in central midfield or attacking midfield or the second striker, whatever you want to go for. Manchester City right wing going to be Bernardo Silva, left wing Phil Foden, and Erling Haaland, who Andy says he's going to get a brace tonight. He's angry. He feels robbed. He wants to rectify that from the weak Tottenham Hotspur, raring to go. How do Aston Villa and their defence stop someone like Erling Haaland is the question. So it's Manchester City that are going to get us underway, attacking from right to left, playing in their white shirts, maroon shorts and white socks. Aston Villa playing in their normal kit of claret and blue shirts, white shorts and sky blue socks, attacking from left to right here at Villa Park. And we do have a kick-off. Not the greatest of touches from Aston Villa, and City can whack the ball forward. Aston Villa just taking the time, and Man City happy not to press here at the mo. Here's Villa coming forward now then. Luiz just works it to the right. He finds Konsa. Got nowhere to go, so he just has to go sideways. And the ball comes through from Aston Villa. That's what City need to be careful of. This random burst of energy. Heung-min Son did very well with that very early on against City. Match at the weekend when we played Spurs. And Aston Villa probably will be looking for a quick start here. Something that can put City under pressure. Something to make City really think. How will City manage it? Another important question. Here's Ederson. Just works it to the left. Finds Josko Gvardiol, City's new signing at the back from RB Leipzig in the summer. Given away. John McGinn now can work it to the left-hand side, and a chance here for Digne to maybe get something into past Bernardo Silva, and the cross can come in. Doesn't beat Kyle Walker at the near post, and he can head that one clear. Good tackle from Bernardo Silva, but Aston Villa get enough numbers there to win the ball back, and it's former City man Luiz that's managed to do that. Can half, and a lot of the play is being played inside the City half. Maybe City looking for a more patient build-up here, perhaps, as Aston Villa continue here to come forward. Here's John McGinn, drops a shoulder on Rico Lewis really well. Into midfield, takes 2 steps, he's pulled down. Referee says no free kick, but a chance for a ball maybe to come into the box. Digne goes for the shot at the near post, and it's into the side netting, but the Villa Park crowd show their encouragement. They're happy with that. It's a shot off target, but it's causing City problems there. Takes 2 steps past Kyle Walker. They're expecting the cross. Ederson has his angles covered there. I'm happy for Aston Villa if they're going to create opportunities to have quick flashes, strikes at the ball. Very difficult to control. Very difficult to, unless it takes a goalkeeper mistake really to go right through the keeper to find a goal from such a tight angle. But worth an effort, of course, after just 3 minutes in the game as Rico Lewis goes down under a challenge. And that will be a free kick to Manchester City, and they can ease a bit of pressure on their own goal here. Don't forget, leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated, guys. Now, more than a quarter of the way through trying to reach my goal of 100 likes, so any help towards that would be fantastic. Also, don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the live chat. Do subscribe as well, and that'll be a throw into Aston Villa here. Akanji with the challenge, and once again, City just having their momentum to Aston Villa, and I think it's just important that Manchester City just get a good idea of Aston Villa, the press, and what they're about, and just spend. You don't have to come out the blocks flying. It's nice to do that and find that opening goal, but I think for such a high pressure game, I think I'd take the opportunity to. Perfectly onside. It's a tame effort. It's a good save from Ederson. Covers his angles really well. He goes for the near post, Leon Bailey. Ederson gets his body underneath it, pushes it away from the danger zone. It's good goalkeeping, as far as I'm concerned. Corner Aston Villa then, and some more defending for Manchester City to do. Now, Aston Villa are going to have chances. Things like that don't concern me. It's how we play. We have that high line. Ederson makes the save. We had something similar against Spurs. He didn't make the save. It goes in. He makes the save there. Corner comes in and City head it clear. It doesn't concern me. Teams will have chances against City. There's another opportunity here, lined up, and it's an excellent save. It's a world-class save from Ederson. Really should have found the back of the net there, Aston Villa. And Manchester City under a ton of pressure. Bending it round. I think it's Konsa, and it's too square. It's a good save from Ederson. We'll take encouragement from that. I do think Man City need to take some encouragement from the fact that Ederson's managed to make 2 good saves. Here's Douglas Luiz. Much appreciated. It's been a bit of a sloppy start from City at the Mo. We've done well to keep it at 0-0. But we need to build on that, as far as I'm concerned. Sorry guys, I was just sorting out my stream. It seems to have just dropped a few frames, so I was just sorting that out. So I just momentarily switched it off, restarted it, and got it back up. And hopefully that'll lead to it being nice and smooth as Haaland's in here. Haaland misses. Good save from the keeper. Squared back across. Haaland second time. What a save. What a save from Emi Martinez. 2 massive opportunities for City. Both for Erling Haaland. Both not put away. Huge chance for Manchester. Right, hopefully that will work for you guys. Sorry, I've just been trying to sort out my OBS. JSGC and OBS, not friends. Anyway, not really missed much here. 18 minutes in at Villa Park, 0-0. Not a lot happening, to be fair. If I'm honest, as of right now, Aston Villa had a couple of good opportunities early on. Manchester City had a couple of good opportunities just after that. Neither side have been that clinical in front of goal, so it's not really worked out too great. Is City coming forward again? Here's Bernardo Silva. What can Bernardo do? Can put something into the box. Kyle Walker can. It's deep. Foden gets his volley all wrong. Gets his volley all wrong. And it does not work. He was onside there, Foden. It's a chance. It is a chance. Not worked. Thank you very much, Keith, and thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. And City seems to have just weathered the Aston Villa storm now. City just starting to get up ahead of momentum here. Is Ruben Dias, works it to Kyle Walker. Erling Haaland. Works it to Julian Alvarez. Here's Josko Gvardiol now. Kyle Walker once more. Drive City forward. City just starting to see more and more of the ball. 63% possession to 37 for Aston Villa. And here's Ruben Dias now for Manchester City. And that's a good ball forward. Here's Foden. Great touch. Great touch from Foden. Right on the edge of the Aston Villa penalty area. Here comes the cavalry now coming forward. Johnny Stones works it to Bernardo. Back to John Stones. He gets himself forward. He doesn't sort his feet out. He tries to twist it. Tries to turn it. He smiles. Pep Guardiola does not smile about that. But that's what Johnny Stones offers. He's great with his reading ability of the football. He's brilliant at knowing when he needs to get forward, when he needs to stay back. He forms an excellent partnership with Rodri. Hoping he's over his injuries. I'm excited, hopefully. Maybe not for Luton. I don't think City will risk John Stones doing 2 games in, 4 days. But certainly, I'm excited for maybe the weekend after, a match against Crystal Palace at home. Maybe we see the return of Rodri and John Stones. Douglas Luiz plays a good ball forward. It's a good touch as well. Leon Bailey. What a save from Ederson. What a save. Tips it over the crossbar. Good strike from Leon Bailey. It's a good shot. It's a good effort. Ederson makes a good save. It's a 3rd good save from Ederson. Keith going for a 3-0 victory for Manchester City. Love the positivity there, Keith. So a corner for Aston Villa. Some more work here for Manchester City to do. Here comes the corner then. Lucas Digne to take. Header cleared by Manchester City. Not the best of balls in from Digne, but it's a good strike from McGinn, and City get the blocking, and the next effort comes in and it drifts wide. Aston Villa want the corner. City want the goal kick. I think the referee said it's going to be another corner, this time on the other side for Aston Villa. And more defending for Manchester City to do. Here's Aston Villa. Another shot comes in and another save for Ederson this time. Pretty tame effort there from McGinn. Straight into the hands of Ederson. Nice and simple. Nice and easy. And City can come forward again. Here's Aston Villa coming forward again. Julian Alvarez trying to cover his tracks. Rico Lewis does well to get back. And it'll be a free kick for Aston Villa. Frustrating. Work here for City then. Free kick, Aston Villa. It's a good 40 yards out, this. Is he going to have an effort on goal from here? It's going to be Douglas Luiz. He's going to have an effort on goal here. See what he can do. Douglas Luiz. Oh, he's just chipping it in. Well read by Akanji, heads it clear. Aston Villa, after a lively first 5 minutes, just starting to build their way back in again here. And more defending for Manchester City to do. Here's Douglas Luiz once more. Gives the ball to Emi Martinez. Here's City coming forward again, and another shot comes in, and it's dealt with well here by City. They've created more opportunities, and it very much feels like Manchester City are just trying to weather a storm. Really does feel like City are just trying to weather a storm. Need to be careful. Need to be really careful, City. What are you guys making of the first 33 minutes here? More instructions come out here for City. I think it's Digne that's down, receiving a bit of treatment here for Aston Villa. City are far away from where they should be, as far as I'm concerned. Unai Emery is taking the opportunity to give some more instructions to his players as well. Youri Tielemans receiving instruction at the Mo. Erling Haaland and Lucas Digne exchange some words. I think Lucas Digne's just gone down, holding just near his armpit. Not too sure what the injury is. Anyway, this might just be a case of City get this to 0-0 for half time and let Pep and the analysts sort the team out for the second half. Here's Kyle Walker coming forward for City. Gives it to Rico Lewis. Tries to find, I think he's looking for Foden there. It doesn't work. Manchester City fan says, last time Aston Villa tasted success at Villa Park against City was back in 2013. He was 11 at the time. City do have a pretty good record, to be fair, at Villa Park. I just feel like Julian Alvarez is the weak link in midfield for Man City. I really do. Clumsy with the ball. There's so much required to be a midfielder at Manchester City. And I'm not convinced long term that Julian Alvarez is that answer at Manchester City. I really don't think he is. I think he's a great player. He's a great striker. I just don't think he's a central midfielder. Yeah, Aston Villa 11 shots, 4 on target. City with just 2 shots, 2 on target. Both of them chances for Haaland. Other than that, it's just not been very good from City. And Bernardo Silva's not managed to keep that one in. And ball could come forward here and is cut off really well by Ruben Dias in a foot race there with... I think it was Leon Bailey. I think he was in a foot... Ollie Watkins he was in a foot race with there. Does really well. Stops that danger in its tracks, and Manchester City can continue to come forward. Here is Stones. Just works it back to Ruben Dias. And here's Eddie now. In goal for City. City just happy just to take their time. It's been a real cautious first half performance from City. I think lucky to be level, and Rico Lewis just pressed into a mistake from John McGinn. My worry is here, I think Aston Villa are just kind of picking City apart, and you just feel like they find that first goal that City are really going to struggle to pick the 3 points up from that. Here's Pau Torres. Work to Carlos at the back for Aston Villa. City camped inside their own half. And there is space, picked up really well, and a ball gets threaded in towards Leon Bailey. He wants to turn Josko Gvardiol, and he does really well there, Gvardiol. Really well. Here's Akanji, steps forward for City, just working their way out of bother. Oh, it's lovely from Akanji. Good work from Kyle Walker and a good lead from John Stones. And just like that, defence turns into attack. One pass forward, here's Rico Lewis inside the Aston Villa half. Advantage played for a foul on Rico Lewis. Bernardo Silva on the right wing. City want the free kick, and the referee's going to give the free kick after sensibly doing the correct advantage. Says there is no advantage there for City, so we'll bring it back for the free kick. That's how you do it, referee, from Sunday. Here is Ruben Dias. Gives the ball to Kyle Walker now. To Ruben Dias. So City have dominated possession. Aston Villa dominated the opportunities. That's a poor giveaway. It's Julian Alvarez again. I want to see Mateo Kovacic second half for Alvarez, I think. Here's Leon Bailey just turning past Julian Alvarez into the penalty area. I think there's one touch too many here. Douglas Luiz is going to have to bring it back. Consa's got a chance to put something into the box. He doesn't. He has to go back to Douglas Luiz. Not the best of balls. Bernardo Silva doesn't trust Ederson to come and collect it. Bernardo Silva doesn't find touch. Digne can put the cross in. It's very deep from Lucas Digne. Douglas Luiz will keep that in play, and Aston Villa will keep hold of possession. So that's well worked by Aston Villa. 40 minutes in here at Villa Park, 0-0. Here is Douglas Luiz now. Work back to Carlos. Chipped forward. Should be dealt with by City in the air, and is. It's Akanji winning that in the air. Julian Alvarez just shrugged off the ball there, and here is Leon Bailey coming forward for Aston Villa once more. Pau Torres works it to the right hand side. Douglas Luiz with a ball in, headed clear really well by Ruben Dias at the back, and Kyle Walker will just send this in a pass forward. Here is Erling Haaland. Managed to draw Pau Torres out of position. Bernardo Silva now, lovely feet from Bernardo, but he's got no support. And Villa can come forward, not a great ball, and Akanji can cut that one off. Villa fans are encouraged. Here's John Stones, back to Akanji. He's not got the pass, and it's given away by City once more, and a shot comes in and over the top of the crossbar, and also high and wide. And Man City just look rattled. Really look rattled. Felt there were better options there for Douglas Luiz, going for glory. So he's dying to get a goal against Man City. He wants to prove that point. We let him go. We basically said, you aren't good enough for Manchester City right now. And Kyle Walker gives the ball away to McGinn, and he goes first time, and I think Douglas Luiz couldn't take the touch, and City can just come forward once more here. Here is Akanji now to Alvarez. Back to Josko Gvardiol. Ederson's going to send this long. He slices it straight into the stands, throwing Aston Villa. City all over the place. They need half time. They really do. They're all over the place here. Here's Consa. Works it back to Douglas Luiz. Carlos. Work to Digne on the left. Nearly from Bernardo Silva. Good pressing. Good work that from Rico Lewis. He's desperately unlucky. Ball gets threaded forward by Villa. Great defending Ruben Dias to make the interception. Kyle Walker finds Erling Haaland. Back to Ruben Dias. This midfield from City looks all over the place. And Julian Alvarez with a well-timed run. Can't take the touch. And Consa. Great defending from Consa. Really good defending. Aston Villa are going to give the ball away. And that will be a free kick to Villa from Akanji on Youri Tielemans. Great ball from Walker across to Julian Alvarez. The touch just takes it away from him and allows Konsa into the game, and Aston Villa can just kind of go from there. Is Carlos now. Worked forward really well here. Konsa. Good drop of the shoulder that from McGinn. Nearly from Bernardo Silva. Pressed well. He's been desperately unlucky, I think, with his pressing, Bernardo Silva. So it's not quite fallen his way, and Rico Lewis is going to commit the foul, and that'll be a free kick to Aston Villa. Less than 2 minutes to go till added time in the first half here. I think it's just a case of City try and get this in at 0-0 and assess a game for the second half. It's not been a very good first half from City, but the important part is we're not behind. We've got to take confidence from that, I think, and see what we can do second half. And that'll be another free kick. John Stones this time brings down McGinn, and he's going to go into the book for a yellow card. And shoved down from John Stones. Yeah. It's late from Stones. It's just not a very good challenge. Anyway, right, Konsa. 30 seconds to go plus whatever's to be added on. Tielemans to Douglas Luiz. That's really well threaded forward here from Aston Villa. McGinn, and Aston Villa could be in here. Good save, Ederson. Really good save from Ederson. And once more, good play. Digne, it looked like that might have gone out of play. Header one and in the net! It's gone out of play, surely! I think the flag has gone up from the linesman now. And goal kick given. VAR will have a look at it. So the point that the linesman doesn't put his flag up is he'll let VAR make the decision. It looks like it's gone out of play. It's a good header. Douglas Luiz, it's got miles out of play. It is a goal kick, Manchester City. Good ball from Digne and a good header from Douglas Luiz. Not the best of work, this, from Aston Villa. And here's Rico Lewis. And Erling Haaland bursts forward. Good work, Rico Lewis. Finds Bernardo Silva. It's a good ball. And it just goes past Foden. It put him off. Konsa put him off. He did enough. First 2 minutes added on here. I don't think it touches anybody. It goes out for a goal kick. Yeah. Right, I think that'll take us to half-time. Lacklustre, not very good from Manchester City as far as I'm concerned. Disappointed with that. Emi Martinez to take the goal kick. Sent long, sent forward. Could be a chance here for Villa. Poor touch though by McGinn, and Ruben Dias can get that one out for a throw-in. And the referee will say no throw-in. That is half-time. And that has been a good half of football. I think Aston Villa will be the team that take more encouragement from that than Manchester City. It's just not been a very good performance from City so far. Interesting to look at the stats of this, actually. It'll be really interesting to look at the stats and what's being made. So it remains 0-0 at half-time here. Aston Villa had a goal ruled out. I think it was Kamara with the header into the back of the net. Went out of play from Digne. There's been numerous opportunities. Leon Bailey's probably looked the most likely to find a goal. Douglas Luiz has made himself known as well in this game. Erling Haaland's had 2 brilliant chances for Manchester City as well. There's been a couple of good saves at both ends from Martinez and from Ederson as well. All right, it's been a good football match. Been a good football match. Could go either way. Really could. I think Aston Villa have been the better of the 2 sides for me so far. And yeah, the odds kind of nearly reflecting that. Manchester City normally firm favourites. 11-10 to win this game. Aston Villa 11-4. Man City normally very firm favourites, even at 0-0 at half-time. So Aston Villa, I think, will take a lot away from that. Possession, very close. 48% for Villa, 52% for Manchester City. 13 shots, 5 on target for Villa. Not been clinical. Some saves been made by Ederson, keeping us in it. 225 passes for City, 52% possession. 2 shots, 2 on target. 2 chances for Haaland. That's it for the first half. Nothing else. Been pretty poor. 244 passes for City. A couple of clear-cut chances created. We've weathered the storm. We've sussed out Aston Villa. We need to attack second half. We need to do something. We need to push the defenders further forward, because at the moment, this patient game that we're doing, it's done the job to get us to half-time 0-0. We've been a bit of luck. There's been some good saves made from Ederson. This continues for 90 minutes. I think City lose this game. So they need to do something a little bit different in the second half. And I put it all down to midfield. There's just no real control. The likes of Douglas Luiz, Kamara, Tielemans, they're having a field day against Manchester City's makeshift midfield. So we've got players, Matheus Nunes, Mateo Kovacic, whack them on. Get them on second half. Get some control. Because at the moment, not being good enough. I love Julian Alvarez. I think he's a fantastic player. He's not a midfielder. It's like playing with one midfielder less. And it's having a big impact here. Real big impact as far as I'm concerned. In an ideal world, we'd want a Jack Grealish or a Jeremy Doku available, but Doku injured, we've not got him available. I'd like to see a Foden or a Bernardo Silva, probably both of them more into midfield, but there's no real other option other than Oscar Bobb, so yeah. Not been great, not going to lie. Hopefully we can turn it around second half and we can put in a good performance. The saving grace, the silver lining, we're still level. It's still 0-0. We're still well in this game, and I'm not even going to say we've tightened up at the back. It's been down to Ederson's good saves that this hasn't been a couple of goals here for Aston Villa. City haven't done much to stop the threat of Aston Villa's attacks. We haven't created much. We haven't scored. I'd love to know your thoughts. Anyway, going round the grounds. Brighton lead 71. They're all 70 plus minutes in now. Brighton lead 2-1 at home against Brentford. Still 1-0 Bournemouth away at Crystal Palace. Fulham now 4-0 up against Nottingham Forest. Liverpool 1-0 up against Sheffield United still with 17 minutes remaining. City 0-0 here away at Aston Villa. And Man United Chelsea currently 1-1. It was Scott McTominay that put United ahead, and Cole Palmer, as Julia says, scored for Chelsea. And Julia did inform me earlier that Bruno Fernandes had missed a penalty for Manchester United as well. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Much appreciated so far. Raheem says we need to make some changes. I agree, certainly do. Need to get some changes in. Mark Anthony, love that one. Bring Lee Bradbury on. Tom Odell says, I am already counting a loss in this game as City players. Just horrible mistakes after mistakes. It's not fluent at all, my friend. I think you're right there. It's not fluent for Manchester City. I think second half, though, I think the analysis, I think Pep, the coaches will all have a good look. They'll have a good sit down. They'll have a word with the players. And we'll see where we push on from there. It's been a disappointing first half. I thought City would really want to turn up and showcase what they're about and what they can do. And it hasn't happened there first half. I thought we were robbed against Spurs of that decision. The anger, the hunger, the desire was there. And then turned up here, first half. Near enough been all Aston Villa as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, do let me know your thoughts, guys, in the live chat. In the meantime, I do have some halftime entertainment for you guys to enjoy. It is brought to you by my partner channel, Mixin. Links and details there in the description. Do go and check them out, like and subscribe. And this is Mixed, bringing you the Black Margarita cocktail. Sit back, relax, enjoy, grab yourself some snacks, grab yourself a drink, and I will see you for the second half.
What's going on, guys? Mixed here, back again for another Halloween cocktail series, back again for another year. Really excited, one of my favourite times of the year. I just love doing the Halloween cocktails every year. So as you can see, this idiot here that you can see straight ahead is, he's got no sound, so we're doing no voiceover. So this is future Aaron narrating today's video. So what I'm showing you there, guys, is the black sanding sugar. So it's quite easy to do, really, because there's just black food colouring mixed in with sugar to get the black effect, as you'll see why, as we'll go and rim the glass. So what we're using today is the rocks glass, which I'm about to show you now, as you can see. So we'll just go rim the top of it with the black sugar. So as you can see in the background, if you're very observant, is we've already done a little bit with the lime juice. So this is where I switch to the simple syrup or sugar syrup, as it's much more effective though, as you will see. So you can notice the difference straight away between the lime juice and the sugar syrup. It really helps it because it's a lot more stickier, there's a lot more sticky substance. So I really recommend it. Instead of using lime juice to rim the glass, just use sugar syrup if you do have it. It's really simple to make. As you can see, I'm trying to perfect it, and it looks really good. But so one thing I do love about this time of the year is the bars, because I just love decorating it every year, because it's one, as I say, I just can't say enough, it's one of my favourite times of the year, apart from Christmas time as well. So I do like the Halloween themed. So this is the Halloween take on the margarita. That's why it's called the Black Margarita. So we're just going to put the ice now into the rocks glass. And what we're going to do now is put in the tequila. So we're going to put in 60ml or 2 ounces of El Jimador tequila. Well, a little bit of hesitate you can see there, because I'm afraid of knocking my own glasses when doing the pour, so this is what I do, carefully switch to the right hand, and there we go. Perfect pour straight into it. So one thing to mention as well is it's stirred, so we're just pouring it over the rocks, so we're just going to stir it together, because there's no shaking involved in this Halloween cocktail whatsoever. So next is 30ml, 1 ounce of Cointreau or Triple Sec. It's one of my favourite go-tos for a triple sec Cointreau, because it's really nice. Next is fresh lime juice, so we're putting in 15ml, which is half an ounce. One thing to pay attention to is the colour of the cocktail that you can see in the minute. As you can see, it's like a very transparent white colour. I should say opaque, actually, not transparent, opaque. So you can see now we're stirring it, it's starting to change colour a little bit. So now we're just going to speed up. It took a while to do this. As I had to put a little bit more to get that desired effect that I really wanted from this cocktail. Look how black that is. Perfection. And now we're just going to garnish it with a lime wheel. Perfect. And there we go. One black margarita. Perfect. So with the black margarita now, what we're going to do now is just give it a taste test, because it looks delicious and I cannot wait to try it. So let's get straight into this now. So as you can see, my thought process of those, because it surprises me, because I thought it would be a bit more different than the normal margarita, but it's not. There's a food colouring that I use. I use black food colouring. You can use a different one, but I use like a food colouring gel for my desired black effect. But you can mix in other colours, but I just find it very not cost effective. So it's very much like a normal margarita, because it's very spicy, it's very delightful, because you can taste the tartiness of the drink as well, especially with the tequila. That's what makes this drink of the margarita. It's the tequila that you pour, it's the quality of the tequila that you pour into the cocktail. That's what gives it a desired effect. So, and then be rating this, because this is from yesterday, 8 out of 10. But it's a banging Halloween cocktail, and I just love everything about it, because with the Halloween is, you can use your creative imagination to show off your showmanship, you can show off your showmanship on the cocktails. So what I'm saying there is, I'm just saying it how much it surprised me as I thought the food colouring would affect the drink, but it never did. But it's a very spicy and rating it 8 out of 10. And this has been the Black Margarita, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Mix It for more videos like this. Cheers.
Thank you very much there to Mixid for providing today's halftime entertainment. Do go and check him out. Links and details, they are in the description. So guys, get your thoughts in the live chat. First half, what do you think Manchester City can improve on? To me, no real control in that midfield. We've got Mateo Kovacic and Matheus Nunes. Get them on second half. Try and get a little bit more control into midfield. Rico Lewis and Julian Alvarez, I take them both off and I put Mateus and I put Mateo Kovacic on just to try and get a little bit more control into midfield and try and give it not so much a familiar feel, because it's not really familiar to Manchester City, but you've got a right back who's inverted into a defensive midfielder who's now playing as a central midfielder in the team. You've got a striker playing as a central midfielder also in the team. They took the experiment. You haven't got the options. I don't know how fit Mateo Kovacic and Matheus Nunes are, but if you're fit enough to be on the bench, to me, you're fit enough to play a game, in my opinion. If you're fit enough to be on the bench, otherwise you shouldn't really be on the bench. So, I think I'd like to see them two changes made, because I just feel like Rico Lewis, workhorse, he's working really hard. I just feel like you need central midfielders in them central midfield role. You got two of them on the bench. Utilise them, get them in, see if it can help Akanji and John Stone settle more into this game. Get that back three more settled for Manchester City. I mean, Josko Gvardiol, there's been some mistakes there again. It's just there's been mistakes all over the field from City as far as I am concerned. It's not been a good performance from City so far, and I'd like to see City just tighten everything up. I keep saying this word, tighten everything up. Aston Villa have just found it so easy to create opportunities. They should really have grabbed a couple of goals in that first half. They haven't been clinical. The fact that this sits at 0-0 is my only saving grace I have from what I regard as, for City standards, a pretty poor first half. MCFR, thanks so much for tuning in, says, liked, much appreciated. As we're now nearly on 50 likes, so do leave a thumbs up. That'd be much appreciated. Said, getting through our midfield far too easily. If they could finish, it could well be 5-1. Man City did have that one brilliant opportunity through Erling Haaland. Everything else, we've been speaking about Aston Villa and what they can do, and that's because City haven't got control of this game. This pace, the tempo, everything about this game's been dictated to by Aston Villa. If Aston Villa had found a couple of goals in that first half, I'd then say that's been the perfect performance by them so far. It's the only thing that's lacking for them, and Manchester City need to utilise that second chance, try and improve second half. Teddy says there is no player in midfield, so when Aston Villa attack, they just go straight at Manchester City's defence. The midfield looks all over the place. It's disjointed. They've not played together. You've got a striker playing central midfield. You've got a right back playing central midfield. You've got two centre backs playing central midfielders. There isn't actually an out and out central midfielder in central midfield for Manchester City right now. We've got 4 positions available. There's 2 central midfielders, natural central midfielders on that bench that are of high quality. Matheus Nunes, Mateo Kovacic, get them on. Heck, Kalvin Phillips, he's more of a midfielder. Chuck him on. Can't be any worse. Can't be any worse. It's been a sloppy performance from Manchester City. We're damn lucky that we are not behind. We really are. I can't emphasise that enough. Mark says, I just can't see any creativity for Manchester City. Potluck chances. Bernardo Silva put a good ball into the box. There was one good ball forward from Kyle Walker for Julian Alvarez. They're just few and far between. Matheus Nunes could help with that. He's a creative central midfielder. Get him on. Chris, thanks for tuning in. Says Akanji breaking the back 4 line by stepping into midfield. It's causing us space issues. Flat back 4 could stabilise. Fine to keep 2 pivots. Lots of players not playing in their true positions either. I think you're spot on. I think you're absolutely spot on. I love Akanji. He's not a defensive midfielder. He isn't John Stones. He isn't Rodri. He's nowhere near their capabilities as far as I am concerned. Once Rodri's back, once John Stones is fully fit, I don't want to see Manuel Akanji going into that role again. Man City have been very neglectful in the transfer window in the summer, not addressing this issue. £90+ million they went to spend on Declan Rice. He's scoring last-minute winners for Arsenal. They didn't bring him in and chose, you know what, we'll go for more attacking players and put them on the bench and not have that defensive sustainability that we're looking for. Andy says, I see our passing is wayward. Many times that we've been so lethargic, and I hope and guess Pep that we're ripping them into a new one in that dressing room. You'd think so. It looks like he's gone with the same 11 that he started with, so no changes at half-time. I give it 5 or 10 minutes here in the second half, and if the same pattern continues, I can see changes coming. City need to make sure they don't concede first. First goal here, absolutely crucial. Villa then, going to get us underway here. Attacking from right to left, City attacking from left to right. And that's a poor giveaway from Aston Villa early on. Bernardo Silva picks it up in midfield. Here's Phil Foden driving forward. Gives it to Bernardo. Rico Lewis going more on the right-hand side at the moment. And Bernardo seems to be going into midfield. Foden looked miles off there. He is offside, given. Free kick Aston Villa. And then the opportunities though. Aston Villa give the ball away high up. Man City too slow, too lethargic, offside position. Don't capitalise. Manchester City fan, it's frustrating, it is. It's frustrating because we know how good City can be. We know what they can achieve. We know what they're capable of. And nowhere near what they're capable of at the moment. Nowhere near. Kyle Walker plays the ball into Bernardo Silva, so the change has come tactically rather than from the bench. Bernardo Silva not playing out wide now. He's gone into midfield to help Manchester City. Rico Lewis has gone to that right-hand side. In the absence of Jeremy Doku. Selling Cole Palmer, selling Riyad Mahrez. You don't have them options on the right wing. One injury and all of a sudden, there you go. Jack Grealish suspended. You look a bit short. Giving away silly cards against Spurs. You get suspended for big important games. I mean, this is no disrespect to Luton Town and Crystal Palace, but Luton away and Crystal Palace at home, to me, isn't on the same calibre of games like Tottenham Hotspur at home, Liverpool at home, Chelsea away, Aston Villa away. These are high priority games. You don't do anything silly when you're sitting on them yellow card warnings, and Grealish and Rodri did, and they're not here. Makes that job even more difficult. Here's Bernardo. Works it back to Ruben Dias. John Stones now. Into Bernardo Silva. Rico Lewis. I mean, they're asking Kyle Walker once more to try and push forward as that right-hand side attacker. It's just not worked well enough over the last few games, and we're seeing it again. Here's Walker coming forward to Rico Lewis, Manuel Akanji. FMG, thanks for tuning in, cheering on. Aston Villa today played a real good game of football, not being clinical though, not put their opportunities away. They've been the better team so far, not punished Manchester City. City looking to be in at 0-0 and looking to build on that for the second half. Ruben Dias moves it across to the left. Phil Foden finds the header. Julian Alvarez, can he get it under control? He can. He does so well there, Julian Alvarez. Can't find the pass. Aston Villa can't find that loose second ball. Akanji can. Chips the ball forward. Kyle Walker gets a hand onto Lucas Digne, and referee says free kick. Grabbed him. Pulled him. The Bill, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Barry as well, thanks for tuning in. 3 minutes into the second half here. And 0-0 here at Villa Park. Here's Emi Martinez then. Works it out to Carlos. That's nearly a poor touch from Consa. Villa can get it cleared, but not very far, and that's a lovely challenge for him. And Digne now can bring Aston Villa forward, and he goes first time. Caught off really well there by Ruben Dias. Here's Bernardo Silva for Manchester City. Gives it to Johnny Stones. City can come forward again. John, thanks for tuning in. Here's Kyle Walker to Bernardo Silva. Ruben Dias now. Gives the ball to Bernardo Silva. Manuela, thanks for tuning in. Cayman Joe coming in with an interesting thought. Says, I honestly think Haaland shouldn't start every game. He offers goals, yes, but in games like this, we need more control. It feels like Haaland not offering enough. What would you do? Put a Matheus Nunes or a Kovacic in and Alvarez goes up top? The only problem is you've got a 40 plus goals a season striker, and if Man City's in a game like today where it's 0-0 after 51 minutes, everyone will be crying out for Erling Haaland. Coesto says, why is City becoming Stress FC? Maybe the expectations just got too high. Either that or you're just a victim of your own success. Success comes at a price. Oh, Alvarez nearly threaded the pass through to John Stones. Too much on it and into the arms of Emi Martinez. Tells the Villa defence, just calm it down, slow it down. He was offside anyway, it wouldn't have mattered. Carlos, poor touch under pressure from Alvarez, has to go first time, finds a lovely ball into the channel for Leon Bailey, and a really good challenge that from Josko Gvardiol, and City can have the ball back inside the Aston Villa half. Here comes Ruben Dias now. Gives the ball to Kyle Walker. 3 ahead of him. Goes back to Rico Lewis. Bernardo's going to stretch the pitch here. He's got 2 more options. Goes back. Ruben Dias now. Works it across to Manuel Akanji. It's a good pass into the channel. Good work from Akanji and Walker. Here's City try and burst forward. Here's Rico Lewis under pressure. Goes down. No free kick. John Stones mops that up for City though. Running into traffic. He's not got too many options. He wants a free kick. Referee says no, he wasn't pulled down. He was already going down. And not a great ball from Aston Villa. You know what? First 7 minutes, Aston Villa haven't really got going here in the second half. It has been all City. Can City make it count? Here's Bernardo. I can smell a goal coming here. Rico Lewis. Akanji knocking around. Aston Villa can get it clear. And that'll be a free kick. Stopping a potential counter-attack very early in attack. Rico Lewis given a yellow card for the foul on Douglas Luiz for a massive shirt pull. And Lewis into the book. Manchester City fan, I do love the red and black that City do. And Chris, it has been switched. Seeing Bernardo more into midfield. It's good to see. A little bit more freedom for Rico Lewis. Seems to have worked first 8 minutes. Aston Villa just struggling to get going. Pass comes forward. Good touch that from Douglas Luiz. 1 pass forward, looking to try and get it round Ruben Dias. You'll have to do better than that to get it round Ruben Dias. And a heavy touch from Ederson. Nearly let Ollie Watkins in for a potential interception of the goalkeeper. We don't want that, and it's just launched clear. Here is Carlos, works it to Pau Torres. And dropped into midfield nicely there from John McGinn. He's under pressure, finds the pass though. Douglas Luiz now, he's got the support of Kamara, doesn't use him, uses Conser instead. Here is Leon Bailey. Worked backwards here by Villa. Villa just happy to have a bit of the football. First time they've had a chance to really have a bit of possession here. First 8 or so minutes of this second half. And a poor giveaway from Aston Villa once more. Akanji can't find the pass. Digne fancies himself here, but Ruben Dias, solid from Ruben Dias, makes the interception. Akanji can have the ball and he'll just give it back to Ederson. He will find Kyle Walker on the right. And Kyle Walker will get a throw in there off Youri Tielemans. As we're now just 1 like away from 50 likes. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Do subscribe as well if you're new around here. And that's great work from Erling Haaland. Just barges Pau Torres off the ball. He plays the pass in. Phil Foden's offside. The referee will keep his flag down. Saved by Emi Martinez. Now the flag will go up. Miles offside then. He held his run, Foden. Hesitated because he knew he was offside. And Foden had to continue anyway because he thought, you know what, if I can get control, have a shot, put it in the net, VAR will make that decision, not me. Julia says Liverpool doubled the lead and that'll be 3 points for them, and it shows how important this game is now for City. Very important indeed. Manchester City fan, any team would feel the absence of Kevin De Bruyne. Well, I do want to make the point though, everyone speaks about Kevin De Bruyne in his absence, and he's a massive absentee. There were times last season when Man City did have Kevin De Bruyne that Kevin De Bruyne didn't play particularly well. Looked very leggy at times. Misplaced passes. Very un-Kevin De Bruyne. But he's just one of them dead ball specialists. He's just one of them that City might not be playing particularly well. He might not be playing particularly well. But he can just make something out of nothing. And them, they're laid on a plate. They can be the difference. A game like today, tight, narrow, 0-0 after nearly 60 minutes. Just that one moment of brilliance. That's what can separate the good teams from the best teams. Here is Aston Villa surging forward. Lucas Digne, left wing. Can he get a ball into the box? He waits for the support. He receives the support. Douglas Luiz, not a great ball from Douglas Luiz. Gvardiol can't make the interception. He's up against Leon Bailey. He needs to force Leon Bailey to turn. Does well. And that's good work from a combination of Alvarez, Foden, Akanji and Gvardiol. It's Akanji in the end that makes the interception. He wants handball, not given. Away in a dangerous area. And shot comes in from Douglas Luiz. It's tame in the end. I think Ollie Watkins might be the one that gets in the way. And just cut away from Manchester City, and City can come away with the ball. Here's Ruben Dias then. Here's Ruben Dias. Launches this ball long. Looking for Foden. It's good covering from Konsa. I've been impressed with Konsa. I think he's had a good game for Aston Villa. Gets it clear. Only finds Josko Gvardiol. He's been grabbed, and that will be a free kick for Manchester City. In a good position to put a cross into the box. It's been a much better second half performance this from Manchester City. A much better second half. Let's see what City can do from this free kick. Before the free kick gets taken, do leave a thumbs up, that'd be much appreciated. Very nearly on 50 likes now. Do subscribe as well if you're new around here. Free kick for City. Alvarez stood over it. So's Bernardo. Free kick comes in. Misses everybody. Looked like City were offside in there. Flag doesn't go up. Lucas Digne just works it down the channel. Rico Lewis puts John McGinn under pressure. He has to be careful. He's on a yellow card. He doesn't commit the foul there, but if it is a foul, I'm sure Aston Villa would be asking the question to the referee. We can't afford to go down to 10 men in this game. Certainly can't. Here's Bernardo Silva. He's got runners. Akanji now. To Kyle Walker. Back to Manuel Akanji. Just works it backwards. City had a lot more control here second half. A lot more control. And I feel better for it. I really do. That will be a free kick. Ollie Watkins on Akanji just pushes him in the face, and the referee says, yeah, high hand. It's going to be a yellow card as we do pass the 50 likes mark. Now 49 away from my aim of 100 likes, so any help towards that would be great. It just smacks Akanji in the teeth. Literally just a slap right in his mouth. Anyway, free kick for City. Bernardo Silva takes. Kyle Walker works it to Ruben Dias. Here's Gvardiol. Akanji drops the shoulder. Does really well. John Stones can get it under control. Can't get the turn. And Villa can come away with Youri Tielemans here. Finds Leon Bailey up against Gvardiol. Leon Bailey too busy trying to get onto that left foot. Ball gets played in. Looked offside. Doesn't go up the flag. And gets cleared by Manchester City anyway. Play to the whistle, not to the flag. The linesman never gave the offside, so it's a good job Manchester City never stopped playing. Some full-time scores then. Brighton 2, Brentford 1. Crystal Palace 0, Bournemouth 2. Fulham 5, Nottingham Forest 0. Sheffield United 0, Liverpool 2. And currently, latest score at Old Trafford, Man United still 1-1. I'm sure Julia did a great job of that tonight. Will keep us up to date if there is any more goals anywhere. Looked like a handball that on Kyle Walker. Corner given in the end instead to Aston Villa. Could have been a free kick much closer to the penalty area. Douglas Luiz goes over to take this corner for Aston Villa. And not the best of corners, and it somehow makes its way to the back post, and a volley comes in, and eventually Manchester City will get that one cleared. City crying for a handball. They still can't get this ball clear. And in the end, they will. Julian Alvarez whacks that one clear and up to Emi Martinez as Man City look to push their players right out, and Bernardo puts Emi Martinez under pressure. He plays a long ball forward. Kyle Walker wins that header in the air, but Aston Villa stronger to the second ball, and Douglas Luiz now finds Leon Bailey in a really good position. Twisting, turning, works to the left. Digne's going to go first time. Cleared by Ruben Dias. Good defending from Manchester City. Kyle Walker mops that one up for City as well. Again, the loose ball falls Aston Villa's way, and it's flicked well to the right-hand side, and this time a good cross comes in from Aston Villa. It was Konsa with the ball into the box. Ederson, though, reads it really well, collects that for Manchester City, and Ederson just happy to slow the pace down here. Aston Villa looking to get up ahead of steam, and Manchester City will choose to knock this one around and have control of the ball instead here. 63 minutes in at Villa Park. Aston Villa 0, Manchester City 0. Not been the best of performances from City so far. Has been a better second half. It's taken Aston Villa almost 15 minutes to muster up anything from this second half, but they're just starting to grow into this game. Finally poised, 0-0, could still go any way. All to play for. Exciting from the neutrals' point of view. Both teams looking for a win. City under pressure here. Can be frustrating, can be a bit nerve-wracking, and it's given away from Manchester City. And if John McGinn can take a good touch, he can. Settles the shot and doesn't find the back of the net. Goal kick given Manchester City. John McGinn really should have found the back of the net there. Perhaps the best opportunity of the game, that. John McGinn sells Ruben Dias, gets it onto his right foot. Ruben Dias does enough with his arm to distract. I think Ederson gets a fingertip onto it. That's why John McGinn wanted the corner. But you'd expect him to do a little bit better from there. Great opportunity. Doesn't work. Foul given against Erling Haaland there. Can't believe it. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, that for me. Up against Carlos then. He does so well to keep hold of the ball there, Leon Bailey. So well. Aston Villa send it long. Advantage played here for Aston Villa. Referee was going to give the free kick. And he's gone for the wrong choice on the right. He should have gone to the left. Leon Bailey can put a cross in, but it's blocked by Gvardiol, and Akanji will win the header and he'll get it clear. Konsa will just work it back, and again, more defending for Manchester City to do. Here's Ollie Watkins. Kamara. Tielemans finds Kamara once more. Opens up. Digne. Can he get something into the box? Finds McGinn. McGinn's got nowhere to go. Still finds a ball into the box though. Cleared by Manchester City. Only as far as Pau Torres. Here is Douglas Luiz now. Finds Lucas Digne. Cross comes in. Cleared by Johnny Stones. Again just finds an Aston Villa man. Here's Pau Torres. To Douglas Luiz once more. Steve, I agree. City are under the cosh. That's where I'd like to see some subs from City now. It's taken Aston Villa 15-20 minutes to get any confidence in this second half. They've got it. They're getting up ahead of steam. You can see Aston Villa scoring pretty soon. If it continues like this for another 5 minutes. Here's Kamara. Ball gets threaded through into the penalty area. Josko Gvardiol needs to deal with it. He doesn't find touch. It's a poor clearance. Shot comes in. Deflection. And just over the top of the crossbar from the effort from Leon Bailey. It's a deflection off Manuel Akanji that drops over the top of the crossbar and out for a corner. Taken quickly by Aston Villa. All hands on deck here for Manchester City. More defending to do. Here's John McGinn. Tries to work a ball into the channel. Julian Alvarez finds the header to get it clear. Here's Rico Lewis. It's a poor touch from Rico Lewis. And Aston Villa just get the ball back. No free kick for Manchester City. It's where Jack Grealish in this situation so useful. He's so good at finding a free kick that all of a sudden you're under the cosh. Takes all that pressure away. In the end, City just giving the ball away too often. To a point, City are going to prepare 2 substitutions. Here's Akanji. He's pulled his shirt. There's the free kick. That takes the pressure away from Manchester City. Youri Tielemans it was. A very high energy, high pressing team, Aston Villa. And it is going to be them 2 midfielders that I spoke about. Matheus Nunes, Mateo Kovacic. I imagine Rico Lewis will be one. Who's going to be the other? Yeah, Rico Lewis is the first. Mike, thanks for tuning in. And Julian Alvarez is going to be the other. It's the 2 I'd have made. And Matheus Nunes and Mateo Kovacic come on. Not been Alvarez's night. Akanji then with his free kick for Manchester City. Aston Villa have chosen to drop a little bit deeper, take the pressure off Manchester City. Well-timed substitution that from City as well, just to take that little sting away from Villa's momentum. Here's Gvardiol. It's a poor pass from Foden. Who was that to? Who was he looking for? It's got to be smarter there, Philip. Great ball from Carlos to find Lucas Digne. More work for City to do here. Aston Villa's distribution, their passing, has been slick. It's been on point. Here's Konsa. Cut off well by Akanji. And that should be a free kick to Manchester City. Not given by the referee, but City have got hold of the ball. Here's Matheus Nunes. That should be a free kick. Again, Youri Tielemans. That's 2 now, referee. Referee really should be having a word. The 3rd one, he should be going into the book. Man City not had any shots in the second half. Looked better for the first 15 minutes, had more control, but we didn't turn them into chances. Lacking some creativity. Since moving Bernardo Silva into midfield, there hasn't really been too much creativity from City. I wonder if it's just going to be a case of City just wait for that one chance. Here's John Stones coming forward. Good challenge, but it falls very nicely here to Kovacic. Here's Foden, puts a ball into the box, and he doesn't find the run of Haaland, and Aston Villa can get that one clear, and Aston Villa can think about their own counter-attack. 2 touches, and Leon Bailey fancied himself against Akanji, and Akanji just gets there first and puts it out for a throw into Aston Villa. 70 minutes in, 0-0 here at Villa Park. Aston Villa 0, Manchester City 0. More defending for Manchester City to do here. That'll be a free kick Villa, yeah. Oscar Bobb's going to be coming on for Manchester City now in their 3rd sub. Just not got them options on the bench, so it's to the young players, see what they can do. Some defending for City to do first and foremost here. Ball comes in from Douglas Luiz, it's deep. Left by Gvardiol, well left, and not the... Do you know what? That might be the first time in 71 minutes that Aston Villa haven't put something of quality forward. Every ball has tried and tested Manchester City. It's been pinpoint accuracy with their passing. Their long balls forward. It's caused Man City all kinds of problems. That didn't. It's the first time. As we're now 45 likes away from 100 likes, any help towards that would be much appreciated. Do subscribe as well. That would be much appreciated. Here is Kyle Walker bursting forward for Manchester City. Finds Bernardo Silva. He's got the overlap of Kyle Walker. Doesn't use him. He's got Matheus Nunes for support. Here comes Kovacic now. It's a time, these games, where you want the likes of Kovacic and Nunes to really combine and help Manchester City. Fresh new blood, new energy. What can they do? Matheus Nunes. City fans get the come on City chant going, trying to motivate the players, motivate the team. Foden finds Kovacic, drops the shoulder, drops it well, opens up space. Matheus Nunes, 30 yards out, crosses it, goes deep. Can Gvardiol keep it in? The answer is no. Right idea. Oscar Bobb then is going to come on. He's going to come on for Phil Foden. Here's Emi Martinez. Works it back to Diego Carlos. Launches it long. Great header won by Josko Gvardiol. And these passes that have been linking up just over the last couple of minutes from Aston Villa haven't been linking up as well. They do keep hold of possession though. Nearly given away. But Leon Bailey's dropped the shoulder on Josko Gvardiol and City up against it here. Here is Leon Bailey with a shot and into the back of the net through a deflection. There's the opening goal. Manchester City behind. 17 minutes remaining. City and Bobb. Villa have the lead. I said the opening goal's so important. Counter-attack football. City stung. Great turn from Bailey. Massive deflection. I think it's off Ruben Dias. It is off Ruben Dias. I'm not sure if Ederson had saved the initial shot. We'll never know. You make your own luck, though. You do make your own luck. And it's like Arsenal away. City just looking for that 0-0. Deflection. I mean, Man City haven't got a choice here. They need to just chuck caution to the wind. There's no point sitting back, defending, covering them spaces. Now you may as well overcommit. I'm hoping it's just going to be a case like against Spurs where you're most vulnerable when you first score. Walker tries to thread a ball through and nobody's there, and Aston Villa can just cut it away. And John McGinn here, looking for space. There's two forward. He can't turn, but he can get past Matheus Nunes. And oh my word. What is happening? Man City haven't had a shot in 64 minutes. They're not creating anything. They're not doing anything. They've just been trying to contain Aston Villa all game. They've not had control. They had control for 15 minutes in the second half. They didn't turn it into any opportunities. The system's been sussed. Any team that's half decent suss the system out. They know how to approach Manchester City. They know what they need to do. Chelsea, Spurs, Arsenal, Villa, Liverpool, all the same. I could argue this Aston Villa performance has probably been the best of the lot because they've actually dominated City. Here's Mateo Kovacic. John Stones. Great pressing from Villa. It's putting City under all kinds of pressure. They don't like it. Here's Bernardo. They can't find the space. They're struggling with the Villa press. They're well up for this. City get the advantage. Here's Bernardo Silva. Wants the handball. Doesn't get the handball. And the space opens up for Villa now. They will want that killer second goal. You feel like Villa probably do need that second goal. Here's Leon Bailey. They might get that second goal. In the penalty area. Turns. He's got nowhere to go. He has to go backwards. Finds Douglas Luiz though. Work to John McGinn. He's got space. He's got space. Shot comes in. Folded kindly here and mopped up really well by Oscar Bobb. And this clearance isn't good from City. And Tielemans can work a ball across and John Stones can get it clear. They don't find touch. These clearances from City have been poor today. And Villa in the box again. Shot comes in. Deflection. Mopped up. Great save. Ederson out for a corner. I tell you what, if it weren't for Ederson, Villa could have had 4. This just is not good enough for Manchester City. It just is not good enough. Corner then for Villa. More defending for City. Villa going to make their first sub very soon. I think so. Leon Bailey gone down, received some treatment that's going to come off. Corner then for Aston Villa. Momentarily down to 10 men. May as well just whip a ball in, they do. Headed clear by Haaland. A free kick given to City. A bit of respite. Right, guys, don't forget, leave a thumbs up, do subscribe. And Danny, thanks for tuning in, says we've got a defensive team on the pitch now. Let's go Oscar Bobb, see what we can do. We've just got no creativity. They've found once in this game in a spell of 30 seconds of getting Erling Haaland involved. Spike, thanks for tuning in, says we are toilet. Manchester City found, I think it's the nail on the head. Flat performance from City. Just no intensity, there's nothing. Says there's no character. The big game players, your Gundogan, your Mahrez, they're not here anymore to make them numbers, to make them differences. That quality 14, 15 player squad that City have got. You get an injury and a couple of suspensions, and the City squad doesn't look anywhere near as strong. Good teams take advantage of that. Aston Villa are a good team. Still, since the 11th minute, we've not had a shot. Haaland wants a free kick. Finally, City do get a free kick. And if City go on to find an equaliser here, I'd say it's probably a little bit undeserved. Aston Villa have been, for me, the better team here tonight. They have been the better team. It's been a patient game from City. They've played the same tactics they went to the Emirates Stadium with, and they came away with nothing. And we've got 9 minutes, otherwise it's the same result, and we're coming away with nothing. We're going 6 points behind at the top of the Premier League. We're playing a game less than Liverpool and Arsenal in December as well. That gap could be up to as high as 9 points, and that's only if City end up winning their games as a cross comes in, and it's straight into the arms of Emi Martinez. He looks a bit confused. Does that count as a shot? More of a cross. Beyond everybody. Emi Martinez has to do something, though. It's an improvement. We made him do something. Header won by Manchester City and won well. Matheus Nunes finds Mateo Kovacic. They keep looking backwards for that safe pass, and Aston Villa with the pressing have them gaps, them safe passes covered. So they have to turn and try and take riskier movements, riskier passes, and they'll inevitably lose the ball because of it. They've disrupted the momentum really well, and I'll tell you, Luton Town will be watching this. They did this so well against Arsenal yesterday. Won't be an easy match on Sunday. Really won't be an easy match. And we're kind of sinking without a trace at the mo. Ball comes forward. Matheus Nunes, lovely touch. I think he's managed to keep himself on side. He turns back into trouble though. And Konsa, he's been brilliant, Konsa, I think, tonight. Absolutely brilliant. Good defending Ruben Dias. Really good defending Ruben Dias. Great work from Aston Villa as well. Great work from Ruben Dias. I think that's all round just solid football. Leon Bailey goes down again, feeling an injury. Unai Emery wants to stop the play. He's off the pitch is the problem. And he rolls back onto the pitch. I wouldn't stop the play for him though. Rolls back onto the pitch to try and get it deliberately stopped. Here's Oscar Bobb, Matheus Nunes looking for the fancy flicks. It's not there. Aston Villa just get it scrambled clear. John Stones tries to thread something through. It's not there, and Emi Martinez picks up the ball and will throw it out of play for a throw-in, and Leon Bailey can get that treatment and he can go off for a substitution. Leon Bailey does go off with the goal for Aston Villa. Youri Tielemans will join him. And it's going to be Ramsey and Diaby that go on for Villa. That's good work from Villa again. Good work from Bernardo Silva just to win that ball back for City. Find the ball back to Ederson. Sent long by Ederson, looking for Oscar Bobb. Header won by Villa. And ball comes off Mateo Kovacic and out for a throw-in to Aston Villa. Well, at the moment, Aston Villa are going over us. We're dropping to 4th and continuing to drop. We've gone from 1st to 4th inside a month. These games, Chelsea away, Liverpool at home, Spurs at home and Aston Villa away. We took 10 points from these games last season. At the moment, we're going to take 3. That's a drop of 7 points. 7 points is a lot. That's 7 points we have to make back that we didn't pick up last year. Because you're looking at a similar points tally, 85, 90 points to win the league again. It's a lot of points to make back. A lot of points. It means... his face opens up here. Oh, he's hit the post. Douglas Luiz, he's looked like scoring all evening. He hits the post. And that'll be a goal kick to City. City just hanging on. This is just not good from Manchester City. Really not good. I know there's talk of Man City, like, what do you do about it? But they don't like doing business in January. To me, the 2 or 3 players away for being where they want to be. The 2 or 3 players away have done a bad bit of business. They've added in the wrong areas for me. They've spent money in the wrong areas. They invested £70+ million on Josko Gvardiol. He's a good player, but he weren't needed for City this season. You got Nathan Ake's quality. You don't have to sell him Eric Laporte. They chose to do that. You don't address the problems in midfield. You don't address the problems in attack. I actually think we're weaker this season than we were last season. That's why this is happening. You take away a De Bruyne, you let Gundogan leave, you let Mahrez leave, you don't look as good. Here's Oscar Bobb. Cross comes in, this is not a good ball. My God. There's Ruben Dias, I think he was on the side. Squares it across. We let Cole Palmer leave, just as Cole Palmer was finding his legs and finding some form, looking good. Looked like we might not feel the impact of Mahrez leaving as much. You let him go. And then just use Jeremy Doku on the left wing only. You take Jack Grealish out of the team. You're always going with Bernardo or Foden on the right. It just looks disjointed from City. I was speaking before this game and I remember saying to you guys that for the first time this season I'm a little bit worried. I look at the statistics, I look at this performance and Richard hits it on the head. We've been outplayed tonight. Walker tries to square it across, dealt with well by Villa and its offside flag goes up. We have been completely outclassed right from the off by Aston Villa. We have been completely outplayed. I was a little bit concerned before the game with the form and us not knowing what to do in them difficult moments, not killing games off. I am concerned right now. I am concerned. Man United are going 3 points behind us. Man United are fucking shit. And they're 3 points behind us. This ain't good enough. This ain't good enough. The bill, I think we need to add at least 3. That's how short we are, and that's how bad the business has been. in the summer. We've signed players for the sake of signing players. They don't add anything to City. They don't improve us. They improve a little bit of depth. We don't need depth. We need quality in the team. Matheus Nunes just passes it out of play. Pep Guardiola needs to head into that dressing room and give them all a rocket up the arse. Questions need to be asked of the players. They really do. People always look at it as overreactions. You just won the Champions League. You just won the treble. You set the standards high. But you've got a chance in January to do something about that. And they need to go and do that. I think if the gap to Arsenal and Liverpool gets to 10 to 12 points, I don't think City win the Premier League. It's at 6. And it could be that high if City continue playing like this by the new year. It really could. Five minutes added on here. And City don't even look like scoring. They don't look like they're even going to have a shot. I do find it particularly interesting. Pep Guardiola against Liverpool and against Spurs mentions the fans and wanting them to get behind the team and cheer the team on and generate more atmosphere, etc., etc., and wants them to turn up and do this and do that. In an away match, though, away end sold out. It sold out on very high points criteria. The City diehards are all there. The atmosphere's not the problem. Can blame it in the home matches, but in the away matches, the same problems that are in the home matches are in these away matches. And I don't think it's down to atmosphere and fans. I really don't. Richard, it's harsh, but it's true. Oscar Bobb, Rico Lewis, they're teenagers. You've got to give them the chances, but it's not going to win you a Premier League. Free kick here for Villa. I don't see City winning this. I don't see City getting anything from this game. I don't see City grabbing a shot. Never mind grabbing a goal and getting an equaliser. I really don't. Aston Villa, they look like more likely to score than City. They're pressing City really hard and high here. Big mistake that from Villa. It leaves space. It leaves space. It leaves space. Great ball across. Here's Oscar Bobb. Here come the cavalry. Mateo Kovacic keeps himself onside. 2.5 minutes. Villa managed to get the players back. They need to put something into the box. Here's Mateo Kovacic. Tries to thread his pass through. Villa want a free kick and get a free kick. Josko Gvardiol it is. They've got to be smarter. In these situations, you've got to be smarter. You really do. Martinez sends it forward. It's not a good ball forward. Surely Aston Villa would just be better looking for some possession here. Ball comes forward, headed clear by Villa again. Ake's on the bench, Mike, and Doku injured. And I don't think you really realise just how poor Man City are in attack and creativity until you take Jeremy Doku away and his pace and what he offers to City and the space that opens up for everybody else for how electrifying he can be. Because without him, we're just so poor. We're now Man City haven't had a shot on target or a shot since the 11th minute. It's the 95th minute. There's 30 seconds left of this game. We're 1-0 behind. It's pathetic. It's a joke. It's so poor. It's so poor. We've been speaking about poor performances and what's the worst performance. This is right up there for me. Top 3 worst performances that I have seen from Manchester City under Pep Guardiola. 2 shots all game. 2 shots all game. Completely outplayed here. Completely outplayed. We're into added time on added time. Another 3 points, Julie says, just going to slip away. Long ball sent forward, flicked on from Haaland, cleared by Aston Villa. There just can't be long left. Referee has the whistle in his mouth. And there it is. 3 points for Aston Villa. I'm going to applaud Aston Villa first and foremost and say congratulations to them. There aren't many teams out there who completely outplay Manchester City, but they've managed to do that. They're a decent team, on the up. Kudos to them. They take the 3 points. City, questions need to be asked. Questions really do need to be asked. To go from winning a treble to watching that on display tonight in the matter of what? Less than 6 months. It is 6 months nearly to the date since we won in Istanbul. And Manchester City look a shadow of them former selves. I don't care they've got injuries to Kevin De Bruyne. I don't care that there's players out suspended like Rodri and Jack Grealish. It is not an excuse. You set your team up, your squad up ready for the season. City continue year after year to go with a smaller squad. They're not coping with the injuries. They're not coping with the style of football. They're not coping with the tactics. Nothing was right about today's performance. Nothing was right. And it continues a theme now of 5 consecutive games in all competitions with piss-poor performances from Manchester City. Confidence looks shot. The vibe from the squad's coming across as wholly negative. And I go back to my last stream that I mentioned to you guys. Something isn't right at Manchester City. There is something not right at Manchester City. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but there's something not right. I don't know if it's a player. I don't know if it's a squad. I don't know if it's a coach. I don't know if it's something in the background or the board. I don't know. I don't know. City now down to 4th, 6 points behind Arsenal. They've got an away match against Luton Town, newly promoted. Not a guarantee for Manchester City at all. Plenty to think about. I'm going to end it there. Thanks for watching. I'll be back on Sunday. I'll have my match review. We'll digest this result. We'll move on from this result. We'll start speaking about the next game because that's all we can do. I will end. I am concerned. Thanks for watching. Much appreciated. Thanks to everybody that's left a thumbs up. Thanks to everybody that's interacted with me. I will bid you all a fine evening. I will have my match review up, in the next hour for you guys to enjoy. And we'll be back again real soon. So thank you so much for watching. Much appreciated. Don't forget to like the video. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Social media links in the description if you want to go and check out my Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and my email. Also, don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the comments below if you're watching this after the game. Leave your thoughts in the live chat right now. And I will see you all again for my match review out in the next hour, and I'll give more of my thoughts on this game and where we go from here, what I thought went wrong, and push from there. So poor from Manchester City today. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Peace.